This film has everything.
Everything? Do you want to make out, or?
Nope. Oh, yes.
This does not seem safe! Hell yeah!
We're getting tangled in exposition. Minerals.
Oh. What's an ice crime?
Are you saying ice cream or ice crime?
Ice crime.
Okay, it's just with your accent, it's hard. I'm not reporting an ice cream.
Yes, no, I get that.
Okay.
You're like sexy bacon.
What is this?
You know?
You need carbs!
What are you doing?
Just chilling down.
You been crying to Taylor Swift?
Doesn't everyone?
Yeah, well, it's one of the best damn films I've seen in a long time.
Jimmy! Jimmy, Jimmy, Jimmy!
I love this movie.
JoBlo.
Thank you so much.
Okay, I absolutely loved this film. Good. Everything about it. We were talking about, you know, the love that was put into this, that David celebrates the work that these guys do. How did you get involved?
You know, it just was like a few years ago, and you know, I've been a fan of Dave's, and it was just like I couldn't imagine a better marriage of like director and material, and like wanting to work with him anyway, and then to get to work on something where it's like a love letter to the stunt community, and it's a stunt film, but it's also about making films, and I just really connected with him on, you know, just both feeling so lucky to get to do what we do and really wanting to find something that we could translate that into. And there's a lot of cynical films about Hollywood, but we didn't want to make one of those, and so it's just been so, like, I just loved working with him. And as fearless as he is as a stuntman, he's the same as a director. It's just like nothing he won't literally throw himself at or into.
And the kindest, most humble, wonderful person as well, just the coolest.
That's amazing. Well, I loved what they did with Jodie. I love because there's a lot of reality here. You know, a lot. Someone gets a big film, it could fall apart on them. What was it like, kind of getting to play the smartened, I guess, version of it?
Well, I think it's sort of, you know, it was important for me to show that this is someone who's under an exorbitant amount of pressure, and that's funny to play and funny to watch and relatable, and it's what I feel most of the time, signing onto a movie, and I'm not even directing it. And so I think I wanted to make sure that she felt relatable, and yet she is clearly capable and passionate and all of it, but the chaos of a film set is not something to kind of shy away from. And so, and I liked that the idea that she's kind of living on a knife edge anyway, and then the ex-boyfriend shows up and just like it intensifies the chaos. So I just thought she was a really cool character.
I think so. Well, here's the thing. You guys are just on fire in this together. The chemistry is off the charts.
Thank you.
No, it's true. And I think the reason is there's a real love story here, and it feels real. Was that kind of
It
easy
helps
to...
when they set off like pyrotechnics behind you.
Fair.
When stuff's blowing
they really
up around
do
you
on an
while you're doing the
airbag,
scene.
and it's
Yeah,
like...
it doesn't hurt.
Yeah, lots of wind machines. I
There
think
was
that's
wind,
the trick, actually.
helicopters going
is
by.
wind
It just
machines.
felt
There's
very-
just so much hair in this
Yeah.
love story.
And
Well,
hair
hair is
metal.
good. I
Yes,
have no problem.
hair is great.
And hair metal, so it was really...
And I think that with you, it's just I really bought you as a stunt guy. How easily did you kind of talk to a lot of these guys and work with a lot of these guys?
Well, I've had a stunt double since I did a show called Young Hercules, and it's where I kind of had my first, and then I've had them obviously over the years almost for everything. And even if you don't have one like in a film, there's usually stunt people around just kind of trying to make sure you're safe, or always looking out for you, always taking the hits, just the most selfless, you know, people. And they risk more than anyone, and they get none of the credit, and it's just such a strange thing, and it's been really fun to be a part of this, just to get to kind of like, you know, try and tell their story and make it with them. And one of my favorite scenes in the movie is where Logan Holiday breaks the world record for most cannon rolls in a film, but he's pretending that I did it in the scene. He's in the scene going like, congratulations, you did it, you broke the record. I'm like, but he broke the record. It was,
And
it's
you're
so
like, thanks.
messed up. But you know, in any film you wouldn't know that, but in this one you do. So I think it's just, it's been really a special experience.
We need to keep it super profesh.
Cool. Do you want to make out?
Nope.
Because I don't either. It's not what I'm into right now.
Making out?
Yeah.
What are you into?
Talking.
Yeah.
Ooh. Look, I've been a fan of David's for a while. I love what they've done with they brought action to America in such a huge way. This was such a refreshing take on it, though. What was it like stepping in and finding? I mean, you are hilarious. You are great in this. Finding these characters and finding a kind of a balance between satire and kind of reality.
Yes, keeping it rooted in reality all the time. And I loved the fact that as soon as I came to play, and that's very much what you're encouraged to do and given the space to do, David and I were constantly looking at where we can ramp it up a bit. And I was constantly asking him, you know, are you aware of what I'm doing there? Is it too obvious? You know, because I have to be careful because of the end of the movie. And it was really lovely meeting David and Ryan for the first time and them saying, no, the script is like the backdrop. And then we go and play.
Yeah.
And that's really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, it's lovely because it's a safe space to experiment. So right away you come in feeling like you've got some ownership to the product, you know, because you're getting to contribute. It's not, hey, these are the fixed words and this is the fixed beat and please hit it or go home. You know, it's not that kind of space. It's more experimental. Did that work? Let's try something else. What are your ideas? What would they say in this position? You know, so I love working like that because it's a conversation. So that's what the set was like.
Makes it very fluid.
Yeah.
I feel like with his projects, that's very true. And especially with this one, based on a series, this could have been a disaster. It could easily
Yeah, absolutely.
You know,
Well,
but
because people need to realize it is not a remake of the series.
Yeah. No.
That's why I say that's the backdrop for
Well, I
it.
think what I love about David's work is that there always feels like this ease to it, right? So you're not like hit in the face, you know, pun intended, with some sort of like heady thought about something, but it still is delivered, you know what I mean? Because it's very easy. So you like these people and you invest, and then you go, oh, I didn't realize that's what this was talking about. I didn't realize that there was another conversation being had with the audience, and I love that. I love that this ends up being that love letter to an entire industry and an entire community by normalizing the humanity around what they do. And that's a brilliant thing to bake into something.
And it had to be David and Kelly McCormack and
To do
87
this.
North to do it. There's no,
Most
there's
effectively.
no finer.
Yeah.
well, they know the business. They know it like nobody.
Yeah.
And that
they're so
it
hugely respected within it. They're going to get the finest artists in the world to come and play, you know, the finest stunt performers.
Yeah, and I love there are certain lines that Ryan has in this movie that makes me go, clearly stunt people were involved in this, in the idea of, if I could say that deep, deep thing in my heart, you know, what would it be? And it had to come from a movie where the stunt community was a priority. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. And
Sometimes it hurts, you know, and that's
Amazing. It's a
incredible.
beautiful
It's
line.
one of the most beautiful things I've heard.
yeah, it's shockingly really well written for this type of film, and it feels.
I wouldn't be so
But
shocked.
it was but that's what I'm saying. You're encouraged to come and play at every turn.
Yeah.
Every department is as well. You know, the costume department, the props department, everyone is playing, and if you encourage people to play, then they bring their whole heart.
Yeah.
That's me, Colt Seavers. And this is my hero's journey.
We just start from the top.
First of all, I got to tell you, I saw this film with a good friend of mine who happens to be referenced. His movie was referenced in this film, Jesse from Fast and the Furious.
Oh, God, yeah.
Dude, we got when that came up, we both had the biggest smile. We walked out of the film, both of us looked at it exact same time. That was extraordinary.
Thank you. Yeah.
You really pay tribute to stuntmen and the work you've come from and that you've made really successful for the past several years. How easy was it to translate the series into this, what you did?
You know, I think when we started out, you know, we had the IP, we started out like maybe we're just going to use the title, you know, because it's kind of, we really want to update it, and it's probably going to change a lot, and we're not sure if we're ever really going to land the plane in the DNA. As we started to develop the movie that we wanted to make, we sort of revisited some of the old episodes, and we're like, oh my God, we're right in the sweet spot, right?
Yeah.
You know, you have a blue-collar hero who's got this exceptional set of skills that he doesn't even really realize. He's having fun on set, and there's like a set life, and there's an investigation life. And so we ended up really then going back and like gleaning some fun things about the ideas of the props and using the movie magic and stuff like that. So it was a good, trying to set off on our own and then realizing you see why the movie was, the TV show was so good already. You know, it had all those qualities. And we just amplified them and contemporized them, and then we put Ryan in that spot, and then you're going to get something different and special too.
For sure. And what I thought was great was there was a mix of comedy, but this is an action film. I kept thinking of movies that kind of could relate to, maybe Midnight Run or things like that. We don't see that a lot.
No.
When you see these kinds of movies, they go over the top with comedy, they get silly. Was there ever a kind of, oh, maybe, or did you really want to make a serious?
No, you know, I think Ryan came on early in the process, and we sort of had a treatment. And the original treatment was a little bit more like an LA noir. It was a little bit more grounded than this. More grounded, even though this, I think, is grounded. I mean, there's the reality. Like, truth is stranger than fiction in Hollywood. So there's not, like, it's not so hyperbolic that it pulls you out. But we started working with Ryan and was like, we also want to make it fun, and we want to make a popcorn movie. And so we leaned into some of the fun meta things, and, you know, we added the unicorn sequence, which, again, like, it's just about taking the audience on a ride, and I like to do that. Like, I don't mind taking the audience to this really fun place and then pulling the rug out and then making them feel the stakes a second later, or making them have the feels with Jodie and Colt, like really emotional love story, and then undercutting it with a joke at the end. You know, I think people like that, and that's why you go see the movies. Like, you want all these experiences. It doesn't have to be just one experience. Like,
Agreed.
And I think we made something that has been done in the past, but hasn't been done in a while. Like, this comedy action, you know, like, this scale hasn't been done in a while.
There's just one little wrinkle.
The star of the movie
Tom Ryder.
is missing. We need you to find him.
Why me?
You're a stuntman. No one's going to notice whether you're here or not. No offense.
I mean, some taken,